Well, hello again. I'm back. Yes. Boy, I have some interesting things to share. But first, I think I'd like to offer you just a slightly different way of seeing the world. This, of course, is a diagram of the human heart. We've seen this before, and I've discussed the two nodes. These 2 points here are the points that actually initiate the heart movement. Thump, what I call thump and thump, or thud thump if you want, or whatever sound, lub ba dub, whatever sound. This is two opposites that move the heart. Now, if you're looking at the picture, of course you don't see this moving, but you've seen some videos, or maybe you haven't, of the heart actually moving. What science is discovering is that these two, they're producing an electromagnetic field simply by all the charges that go off in here. It's like reactions. My heartbeat, I measured it as by the little instrument here, about 72 beats on the average all day long, sitting down, walking. It's about 72. An hour before I get up, it's 55. Now, the theory is that this part of the heart here, when it works, it not only produces the two forms of the nervous system, the parasympathetic cooling mechanism and the sympathetic dilating or heating mechanism, and these two are pushing and pulling on each other and coordinating. And the difference in how the heart works, scientific term, is called heart rate variability. I mean, how variable is this inside, and how quick do you recover from an exercise? How does your heart beat? Well, when it beats, it produces a magnetic field that's not visible to the human eye, but is becoming visible to instruments. For example, they can measure this with an echocardiogram, they can measure that with CAT scans, they can measure this with many different devices that measure this heart rate function. But I'd like to show you something that is just imaginative, but gives really a better picture of what the heart might look like. It looks like really inside here, extending outward, it looks more like this. Yeah, this is an actual picture. This is called ball lightning. There's the phenomenon called a ball of lightning that produces a bubble. They say sometimes it's because of moisture and ions, and they have a certain tensile strength like a bubble in the park, soap bubble would, but they produce this field. It's an electromagnetic field. Give you another one, a little different. This is an electromagnetic field. Well, there are other ones too. I like some of the odd ones. Your heart is doing something like this. Now, I'm measuring mine with a Bluetooth device, of course, that fits on my phone. So I go and I get to see my heart rate variability. I get to see the strength, the magnitude, the frequency, and then I get to go over and look at a chart for my age to see if I'm young or old according to the heart rate. Wow. I like understanding how this works. So I've been playing with it a bit with breathing, visualization. I can do a little thing. It'll monitor me if I do a process of deep breathing for 10 minutes and add some images. Well, it changes the nature. And I'm not saying they all look like this, but here's another one. All of us have a signature color, magnitude, shape, form. And why this is so important is that this interface at the heart, it actually empowers the red blood cells passing through the heart with their own little magnetic field. This magnetic field actually keeps it from clumping into other blood cells, and it helps it also orient where that particular blood cell is supposed to go. They just don't go out of the heart, wandering around looking for something to do. Every one of the red blood cells has a specific orientation about where it needs to go according to how you are programming it. Now, the cool thing is, obviously, this is happening automatically for you. But the automatic part is it's coming from the memories that you already have stored. Those memories you have stored, not in your body. Of course, there's plenty of them there if you want to go there. We're talking about the memories stored in the soul. That soul has a skin around it, and each soul has its own basic color, shape, dynamic principle. How do you occupy more of that? I'm suggesting that the use of particular kinds of focus, the presence of being here, now, the presence of holding multiple things at the same time. For example, just as an example, can you hold the possibility of imagination that your heart produces something like this, and the black in the background, you see the black in the background? What if that were divine silence? Could you have an awareness of, an appreciation, effortless, of the divine silence while focused on that position of your heart? I prefer one that looks like this, by the way. I think it is closer to this. And yes, this does look like a pupil and an iris, because for me, all irises are dynamically alive. They're not static. Even in your head, their vascular system, there is blood circulation about 4 to 7 times a minute going in and out of the vascular functions of the iris of the eye. And then there's an aqueous humor that shoots out from behind the pupil and behind the lens that comes out and hits the cornea, it comes back in at the edges, and it's absorbed, they say, at maybe the rate of 2 or 3 times a minute, something like that. This is an iris, this is your heart, this is your soul phenomenon function. It operates automatically to bring you, most of the time, probably what you don't want. It feels that way. It feels like, why? I want this. I want a new car. I want this. I want happiness. I want life and health and well-being. How come it doesn't? It brings to you what is automatically programmed to arrive at a different vector, a different angle. All day long, we're being circulated in the heartbeat and the electromagnetic field, and it's circulating and bringing, and then that electromagnetic field goes through the body from the esoteric body into the physical body, glands, organs, body systems, nervous system functions, hormones, and so on. And there's this drumbeat of activity, and it's extending itself out into the electromagnetic field, and it's setting up these arrangements with other people to meet somewhere at the grocery store or on a chat room or a relationship dating service, and you meet somebody and you want to do this flirt thing, and it's so wonderful, and they don't call you back, or they ghost you, or whatever the term is, or you go out and have sex and whatever and never see them again. Or The guidance mechanism of that which comes to you, in my opinion, is that place. In that place, there are tiny sequence of locks that will help you dilate your capacity to feel self, others, all simultaneously. And you can engage in sunrise, sunset with faith in the background silence that's in your heart, while at the same time being able to relate. I'm suggesting that you can go there. It helps to have the imagery, because that's a function of what feeling extends through imagery to produce a phase of empathy. Empathy gives you the capacity to be able to sense on a subtle body level that can become an organic sensation. Imagery, feeling, imagination. Now, there is, in my experience, a sequence of things to do. Now, this picture is real. It's of a galaxy in space, of what was once a bigger star that's become a nova of some kind. That's a journey. Could you imagine a series of rooms where each room had a different quality to it? Well, the primary instrument that you go through that with is that place, I'm suggesting, that is in the heart. I don't know which one of these pictures you like the most, but I think I kind of like this one because, well, I'm an iris guy. Can I stand in here, feel my heart with awareness, sincere desire, innocence, while experiencing what would be, in the time of this one, about the last week of a 6-month cycle. This is about the last week before the solstice. Southern hemisphere, it's coming into the winter solstice. Northern hemisphere, it's summer solstice. It's possible to be able to stand in the middle of this, in the solstice or the equinox, and have a greater sensitivity to what it presents to you as an opportunity. I'm suggesting that it's possible to go there, but you need a feeling. One of my favorite pictures, I know you've seen it before, but I'll bring it back. To go into that location, you need that feeling. Not easy to do, to feel that innocent. So I'm just bringing this to your attention, that your heart is a living ball of life. It's operating automatically until you choose to want to be a genuine part of it, in harmony with everything that comes toward you as a divine opportunity to change. Have a good day. See you soon.